Hello and welcome to your daily astrology and tarot horoscope for Saturday, August 23rd and Sunday, August 24th of 2014. The planets of the day is both Saturn and the Sun. Saturn for Saturday and the Sun for Sunday. Saturn is a day for getting your chores done, planning the work and working the plan. Sunday is the day for, I call it Shine Day. That's the day when you've done all your work, you've done your moon work through your Saturn work, and now it's time to just embody you and enjoy. Sunday is just that fun day. A lot of religions and spiritualities, like, they take, Sunday off, and I think that's great. I mean, I think it should just be more of like a staycation of whatever you enjoy and like doing. In terms of the cards of the day, Saturday is very promising. It's that passive feminine energy that I've been talking about that's been going on. Yesterday was existence, somebody looking at a leaf and just being, and now today is silence, a woman with the third eye being the full moon. And this full moon is a great reminder for what I need to mention about the moon today, but we won't get into that now because the moon is not full right now. It's a balsamic moon, but we'll discuss soon. And Sunday, the card of the day is Schizophrenia. It's the Two of Clouds. So after this week of reflecting, after this week of a lot of firing and doing, and it involves oppression, you went from that, and then you get, involved to like the Knight of Water. So that's kind of a positive card, realizing that you're not separated from the flock or the rest of the people. And now coming into the Schizophrenia on Sunday, I just think now it's kind of like I've had all these jarring insights. What's next? What's next? What's next? And I think why there's a Schizophrenia going on is it's what I've been discussing. It's been a whole bunch of planets in water signs and a whole bunch of planets in fire signs. Now, Mercury was one of the first planets to move into Virgo, which is an earth sign. Now the Sun on Sunday will be moving into Virgo as well, and I think this is going to cause us that little. It's like the training wheels. Whenever you see a solar ingress happen, that's when the Sun changes signs. Whenever you see the Sun change signs, things are clumsy. Things don't quite work right for that day. Like, people miss the green light. I stumble on my bike. There's just silly things that happen that are just kind of a little off kilter. It's kind of like just being like that first, when you see the deer being born, and then it takes its first steps, and things are just a little bit wobbly, getting used to this new energy, and that's what's going on, I think, with that Schizophrenia. Now, the important thing to know is the Schizophrenia card is a cloud card. So, and just like what I always like to say is Dan Millman always says, the life of the warrior is 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And, Sunday could be a step back day if you get caught in the clouds like this, if you get caught in your thoughts like this. And one thing that happens to me at work all the time is I get stressed thinking about my bike ride home, because I live in crazy-ass LA, and I commute back to Hollywood I work in Beverly Hills, commute back to Hollywood, and it is dangerous on those roads. And in my head at work, it's like I'm going to get killed, a truck's going to hit me, all these stupid stories and scenarios go on. But when you're in the moment, when I'm on my bike, when I'm in the moment, none of those worries are there. I'm completely in the zone, I'm completely in the moment, and everything's fine, and it's not that bad at all. And I don't feel unsafe, and I don't feel scared. All that melts away. And so one good way to get out of your head is to honor your head. Don't deny it. Honor your thoughts, reflect on them, whatever practice you like. You can speak them out loud, you can write them down, you can journal them. And once you've given your head that 5-10 minutes of reflection that it needs, or do something like the I Ching, do some divinary thing, do tarot, talk to a friend about your problems, and only allow a certain time period, 15 minutes, boom, I'm done. Then click over into do mode, and that's what I've found at the best practice for me to just get out of my head and not worry. As soon as I'm on my bike, I'm not worried. And that's just one example of that. Okay, so one of the things, I'm trying to use this Thoth deck, and so I'll pull the Thoth cards of the day. And while I'm doing this, I'll discuss the moon. Right now, the moon phase is a disseminating moon phase. No, it's not. It's the balsamic moon phase, sorry. Disseminating is right when it's full, and it starts to go down. This is the balsamic moon phase. This is like that tiny sliver of the moon. And this is a time where everything goes within. Everything's more indoors and withdrawn. It's a time to reflect on when you made your last new moon wishes. It's a time to think about things. It's a time to dream. You usually have less energy in a balsamic moon phase, but you got to see your own chart where it's affecting, what areas where you should be more behind the scenes. And it's a great time to start thinking because August 25th, Monday, will be the new moon in Virgo. And so this is a great time to start thinking of what kind of Virgo new moon wishes you want to make. So that's just a suggestion. Okay, I'm going to cut the card and I'm just going to pick the top two, and then those are going to be the cards. This is Saturday's card. This is the Princess of Swords in the Thoth deck. So this is an air card. So on Saturday, to me, there's a battle of the mind, the battle of the thinking. Get your thoughts out of the clouds, and that's kind of interesting because the card is Silence. The Major Arcana card from the Osho deck for Saturday is Silence, a reflection card. So definitely, this is definitely a day to meditate and not to be in your thoughts or worries about what you need to do. Definitely not. As you can see in the Thoth card, the person is actually doing something to fight the thoughts. So, to me, just going with plan the work and work the plan, and get out of the clouds. Just do the actions you need to take. Fight any negative thoughts, but this is, when you're doing Silence, you're reserving judgment. Just do what you need to do and don't judge why you have to do it, why it's a burden or not a burden, or good or bad. This is just a being and doing day for Saturday. Sunday, you get the Schizophrenic card, and we have the Fool. So, when you're in a schizophrenic mode, there's two ways. You always think there's two ways to go, A or B. But what you're failing to see is this person can let go of both and go into the abyss and go into the unknown. The Fool is ready to do that on Sunday. The Fool is ready to come into that Virgo Sun energy. This is the new cycle. I was wondering when are things going to change? We've been in this fire, water energy, fire is spirit, and exhibiting and doing and embodying and just going for it and moving forward. And the water is that intuitive, trusting, flowing, feeling. When you're in water, things slow down, and so it's about just a graceful amount of timing. And you get those two energies constantly going back and forth. It's just kind of a weird frying pan of emotions. And now this earth energy is coming, and this Fool energy is going to come in with this new solar ingress into Virgo. That Fool energy is coming in. Just be happy, be elated, don't think about it, go with the flow, and this is going to be the new change that's coming in, and it's time to embrace it. So those are your cards of the day. In terms of the astrology, I've already discussed the moon. We're in the balsamic moon phase. Time to start thinking of your new moon wishes for Virgo. The thing that I wanted to talk about on Saturday is... Oh, wait. I guess it's... Yeah, Saturday is when the moon goes into Virgo, so I just want to make sure I'm correct on the timing of it. I mean, the fact that Sunday is coming around... like I said, those first day or so of the sun going into a sign, experience how clumsy things are. But when I looked at the chart, at 8 o'clock Pacific Daylight Time, the sun was in just was in the 0 degrees of Virgo. So we're switching over. The only thing that I want to discuss aside from that is just I'm just kind of looking at the elements and how the elements have been bombarding us, because those are the major themes that have been going on. The planets have been moving around, how they move around, and we go over them daily. But look at the elements, and as you can see, we're finally getting the dose of Earth to come into this. We're finally getting Virgo. We're getting a practical energy. We're getting a tangible energy coming into us. So the themes are now, whatever you've been working through with spirit and intuition the last month with this firewater energy that I've been exploring with you, this is a time now that we need to put some practical steps into it. This is the time now where we need to make some tangibles, some accountabilities, some communications, some extensions, some actual putting it into being, because Mercury already went into Virgo. The Sun is now in Virgo, and these other planets, the Moon is gonna be in Virgo on the 25th. So the Moon's going right there. So in terms of the other planets of the charts, it's like now we're finally solidifying these things. Now is a time to start making some practical, like, oh, I did that, and sharing it with people. Yeah, I mean, Venus will be coming as she comes, as fast as she comes. I mean, it'll be another few weeks before Venus will go into Virgo, but it's starting to stimulate that practical Earth energy. Virgo is a healing energy. It's a time to just, it's a graceful, it's a service, it's a servitude to others. So, as you're going out and doing these tangible things, think about practically how they're going to be helping you, but are your creations and are your doings at any way helping other people? The only other thing to discuss is the fact that, I discussed it in yesterday's video. You have that sextile from Mercury to Saturn and Mars, but you also have a square from Venus to that Saturn to Mars. So there's just a lot of energy, and to me, it feels like the pressure point is all about communication and Mercury, and Mercury's in Virgo. So I don't know. This is just the time to be writing. Revelations can come through your writing. It's a time to be doing things with this communication somehow with these people. I mean, Mercury is kind of the archetype of like a young man to me. Mars is the archetype of that, alpha male to me. Saturn is the archetype of the teacher and mentor, and Venus is the archetype of a woman and the beautiful woman. And so when you're getting all these energies colliding, it's like, how is Venus is very nicely, Venus is squaring. Venus, the woman energy is opposing all this masculine energy in this square. The woman energy wants to have fun and be fiery and in Leo, but then Mars and Saturn want to be dark and deep in Scorpio and bring in this intuitive emotional thing. And so see how you can balance those groups of your friends, those groups of the people in your life. The woman energy wants to party, the guy energies want to go dig deep and take action in those darker matters. And then you have Mercury there in Earth saying, let's make this practical and bring this out, everybody. He's kind of like the conflict mediator in all this. So, but he's going to be relating more to what Mars and Saturn want, because he's making a sextile. So the thing to keep in mind with this energy is it's just all about how you're communicating and what you're doing. If you want to drill down more into it, you definitely need to look in your chart and see what's going on in those 16 degrees of your chart, because there's so much energy in this area. I mean, Chiron is opposite of Mercury. Mercury is getting a semi-sextile, but I don't know if that's a really good aspect, so we won't get into that. But Mercury's definitely making a sextile to Mars and Saturn, and then Venus is making a square to Mars and Saturn. So this is all about communication. All right, I hope this video was helpful. My name is Nicholas. You can visit my website at www.nicholasdewart.com, and thank you. Have a good weekend.